You're going to feel really good until those shares and those likes stop. And they will stop. I guarantee you they will stop. And you're not going to understand why. And because you stuck with it for so long, you're not going to understand how to get out of it. And then you're going to get frustrated and then you might quit. And the last thing I want you to do is quit. Hey everybody, what's up? This is Andre. Welcome to Just Start the Podcast. Yeah, we're back. This podcast is brought to you by A1 Podcasting and Content Creation, helping people create. And today, I don't mean to bum you out. I don't mean to make you feel any type of way. I don't mean to take the wind out of your sails, but your family and your friends aren't fans. I'll say that again. Your family and your friends are not your fans or your target audience. Let me explain. So once again, everything that I talk about here is from personal experience. As time goes on, I will have more to chart out and more to share with you. But I just want to kind of let you know the pitfalls that I stepped into when I first started podcasting so you can avoid them and therefore strategize better than I did when I started 5 years ago. So what happens is you start your podcast. You're proud of what you've done. Oh, man, when you really start turning that mic on and you get to talking and you feel like you have a good conversation either with a co-host, which we'll talk about another time, or you're talking to a camera like I'm doing right now, you want to share it. You want to share it with all of your friends because they're like, wow, Johnny, you got a podcast? Well, let me hear it, buddy. And you send it to them. And now every time you make a post online, on any of your social media platforms about your podcast, he likes it and he shares it that one time. And you do that with mostly everybody else you know. You have 500 Facebook friends. So you send it out to everybody. You share it. And when you first share it, you get 10 likes, 3 shares. Check out my buddy's podcast. He's great. Check out Johnny's podcast. Man, he's talking about farming in America. There's one problem with that. They don't care about farming in America. So as you keep sharing it with those guys and you maybe even get spoiled enough to say, every time I share a new episode, these same people will like it and share. It's bound to grow. It's going to grow tomorrow. And as time goes on, less people care. Your family and your friends, less of them care. Less of them don't, they don't even want to click on it, really. It's just another one of Johnny's podcasts. It's okay. Real life takes over. I'd rather hear about what Kim Kardashian did. That's what I'm going to share. Kim Kardashian got married again. I'm going to share that. If I'm your cousin or your brother or your sister or your mother or whatever it is, I'm going to share that. Hey, you know what? It's this dumb video of a guy falling down the steps. I'll share that. But your podcast, your 17th episode, I don't really care as much. Do not let this derail you from what your mission is. Okay? These things will hurt your feelings if you are invested in the quality and the well-being of your work. That's what happened to me. It started to hurt. It started to hurt my feelings because I was like, wait a minute. I'm actually doing something. You liked it at first when I first started sending it out. Now I can't even get a like. What the heck is going on? It costs you nothing to like. All of your kids getting ready for their first day of school, I like those pictures. Why can't you like my podcast? The simple the simple story with that is they're not your target audience. You don't understand that unless I tell you right now. Amateur podcaster, beginner podcaster. They are not your target audience. You can love your family and they can love you. They can support you, but they are not your fans. This is something that I had to explain to my co-host. This is something that I had to explain to friends who podcast as well. I had to tell them it's great when you started to understand how to post, but it's not good enough to just post your work and leave it there. Okay? You have to have a strategy for how you promote your podcast, and you have to have a target audience to where you want to promote them to. When we first started, we did that, and I quickly found out that, okay, that's not necessarily going to work because we're not getting anywhere after 20 episodes. Nobody cares anymore. So now we have to look into Facebook ads. I'm about to blow your mind. So this is where the problem lies. You get into Facebook ads and it asks you target audience. And now you're like, well, what the hell is my target audience? What is my target audience? Who do I want to hear my work? And you don't know if you don't listen to my first episodes and understand where you need to start. You don't know. Okay? So let's say your podcast is about, I really want to give you an example besides knitting. Oh my gosh. Let's say you have a true crime podcast, which are very, very popular. Very popular. Oh man, if you do it well, it's very popular. Oh, goodness gracious. Or let's say a Marvel podcast. Okay? You got a Marvel podcast. What do you want to do when you're targeting your ads? Wow. Well, you want to hit fans of the new Marvel movie that just came out because you know they don't stop. At this point in November, The Marvels is coming out next week. So what you want to do is everybody who likes Marvel pages and stuff like that, see if you can find a correlation. Boom, that's how you find your target audience if you're talking about Marvel stuff. Okay, Loki is getting ready to wrap up. Loki season 2 is amazing so far. But anyway, you want to get however you can tie that into your target audience, whatever Facebook gives you, boom, you find that. Okay? Even if it doesn't get the likes you think it will, you keep hitting that audience. Keep adjusting. If you have a starting point of where you're, sending your workout to, when you're sending your ads to, then you know what to adjust. Use the statistics. Use the analytics to adjust, all right, men didn't respond from age 18 to 30. Well, maybe I need to go from 30 to 45. That's where it's strong at. Let me just, boom, maybe it just hits with them. Maybe just zero in on them. Okay? If you think that you're going to have a successful podcast without reading analytics, you're out of your mind. Even YouTube, what I'm on right now, has analytics that you have to read and understand. And there are a lot of professionals who do so, but you're going to have to understand some part of it. So that's what you're going to have to do to get your podcast in the ears or the eyes of people who want to hear it. I love to hear people's take on Marvel shows, on Marvel movies, and the state of Marvel as it stands right now. Because it's very interesting. And that's something that I like. But the guy down the street, the guy around the corner, he might not like it. Your cousin might not care about Marvel. You might be a DC guy. Your sister or your friend from high school might not care about Marvel at all. They don't watch movies. Or get this, the girl you went to school with don't want to hear any of that from you. So you have to, there's how many people are in the world? I don't know, billion or something like that. Some crazy, ridiculous number. There are so many people in the world that could hear what you do and like it and share it and like it and subscribe. You can't only worry about your family and your friends because they are supporting you because you're doing something, but that support only lasts for a certain amount of time. The more you progress, the more support they'll give you. But if you're, grinding like everybody does, if you're grinding and you're putting out your podcast and it's every week, hey man, people got real lives to deal with. And if you ain't something that they love, if you ain't Jocelyn, if you're not the latest drama, then they're not going to go and share anything from you. I got one better for you. They'll share from another podcast and won't share yours. Okay? Because whatever they were feeling that day and whatever that clip is, depending on if it's a clip for a popular clip or just a clip that hits them in the chest, they felt like sharing that. But you, it's not necessarily where their interests lie. And you have to be cognizant of that. Okay? So what this episode was really about, just understanding that your family and your friends are a great start, but they are not your fans or your target audience. That is okay. That is so okay. All right? You just need to treat it as such. So I'm not telling you so that you can resent your family and your friends. I'm telling you because it will fool you. It fools everybody when they start. And that's why you go further. You don't stop. You don't stop there. So continue to push forward. Continue to push your message. Find your target audience with niche-based information and just pump it. Do what you got to do. And don't be fooled by those first couple shares that you get, because then you're going to start tailoring your content to them, and they aren't the people who are going to spread it. It's just like anything else. Okay? So find your people, man. This is a part one. We're going to come back to this. Going to keep it nice and short and sweet. We're going to come back to this, but I felt the need to just tell the beginner that in the beginning, your family and your friends are going to be the ones, man. And you're going to feel really good until those shares and those likes stop. And they will stop. I guarantee you they will stop. And you're not going to understand why. And because you stuck with it for so long, you're not going to understand how to get out of it. And then you're going to get frustrated, and then you might quit. And the last thing I want you to do is quit. Do not quit. Keep going. Work with some people who know what they're doing and can help you break through that. Me, how about that? And it can help you break through that glass ceiling and just keep going. All righty. So that was today's episode. Your family and your friends are not your fans. Okay. So I appreciate you for tuning in. If you got anything from this, leave a comment. Make sure to like, subscribe. Let's grow this channel so that, I can continue to help, or maybe I can learn something from you. So if you want to tell me what I did wrong, put it in the comments. But just let's help this channel grow, and let's help each other create. All righty. I'll see you next time.